Hello, welcome back to Internal Insights, episode 4, I believe. And it's actually been over a month since I recorded the last one. I recorded the last one on March 1st, and it's April 4th now. But I feel like March kind of whipped my ass a little bit. And yeah, we're not going to get into that today. I mean, we're going to get into it a little bit, but I'm a little out of practice, and hopefully I remember how to talk to the camera. But yeah, it was just kind of an exhausting month. A lot happened in March. March and January always feel like an eternity, and February always goes by super quickly. And this March was no different. It was like the third week or fourth week. I don't know. There's so many weeks in March. It was like the 20th. And I'm like, oh, there's still more March. There's still a whole other week of March. Like, I'm honestly shocked that it's only April 4th. It feels like it should be like mid-April. And it's probably not helping that Easter's really early this year. Easter's actually tomorrow. And I have some jelly beans over here to the side because you gotta have jelly beans when it's Easter. I'm sorry, I feel really goofy. I feel like I'm doing a bad job at talking to the camera this time. So yeah, maybe we should just dive into my predetermined topics. I'm also like weirdly nervous tonight because normally I do this when I'm alone, like in the house, or like my daughter's asleep. Like normally my boyfriend's not here, but he's here tonight. But he's been, and my cat's inside. Usually my cat's not even inside when I do this. So he's laying on my daughter's little play mat, and my boyfriend's upstairs. So I'm just sweaty, and I need to take some deep breaths and remember how to talk to a camera. But like I said, I've been taking a break, I guess like an unintentional break from content creation. I have some ideas, and I even recorded some stuff, and I just did not have the motivation to edit it and like do thumbnailing, and I've just been like ruminating a lot on things instead of actually doing them. And there's some good to that, but there's also a lot of bad to that. And I made this podcast public or known to my inner circle, to my close friends, my family. And so I think part of me feels some sort of way about it now. Like it became a little less like a hobby and a little more like an obligation, which isn't true. I've backtracked on that mindset a little bit. I'm like, this is a hobby. This is something I do for fun. It's something I do for me, and it doesn't have to be about anybody else. So all that to say, I'm trying to get back on track in April, and I'm going to be recording my Q2 goals for, or sorry, I'm going to be recording my Q2 goals soon, just how I did in Q1. So hopefully that'll get me back on track, you know, going back to my roots, my 3-month-old roots, and doing something that I'm comfortable with and I know how to do. So yeah, I also didn't address the candle in the last video. I didn't know I was going to be making this podcast known, and I hung out with one of my friends, and I mentioned the podcast, and they were very encouraging, and they were like, you should share it. And I thought about it for a little bit. I was like, yeah, I should, because people who enjoy me and enjoy what I have to say will definitely enjoy the podcast. And the feedback's been very positive, which I'm very grateful for. And hopefully it continues to grow into something wonderful. And hopefully the channel continues to grow into something wonderful, because at the end of the day, I'm always excited about what's happening with this. And yeah, I'm really glad I started it. I was listening to a thing, like a video, and it was like, you know, if you're a content creator or you want to be a content creator. And I was like, no, I am a content creator now. And that's pretty cool, because that's something I've always wanted to do and just never really got the hang of until recently. But anyways, the candle. If you went back and watched the first episode of this, then you know about the candle, but I just feel like I need something to hold and talk into, and I don't have a microphone yet, which might change. I decided my tax refund money is going to be spending money for me, because I never have any spending money, and then I never buy anything for myself, and it's just a bad cycle. And so I'm just put some money aside for myself, because I deserve it. I worked hard for that income, so I worked hard for that tax refund money, and so just maybe I'll buy a microphone is what I'm saying. But in the meantime, the candle is the microphone. So yeah, and my daughter's been playing with it, so it's starting to get kind of beat up and dirty. But I do have 2 of these, so I could always swap them out if need be. But yeah, all that to say, welcome back to the podcast. I'm really excited to be doing some of this again, doing the podcast. And yeah, we'll just get into it. I only have 2 topics tonight, but they're kind of big things, because like I mentioned, it's been a whole month, over a month, since I've recorded one of these. And yeah, I've been reflecting. Like I said, March was a month where I felt like I was reckoning with myself. I was getting into some like really deep corners of my brain, in my journal, and really thinking about how I'm presenting myself to the world, and whether that's how I want to present, and if I feel good and comfortable in my own skin when I am presenting the way that I have been. And the conclusion I came to was no. And the big thing that I realized with this was not everyone needs a cupcake. And that's in reference to when you were like in elementary school, and it'd be like, if you're gonna bring a cupcake, bring enough for everybody. And at some point I started applying that mindset to myself. So it's like, if one person, so I'm gonna use work as the big example for this, because I spend most of my time at work, as most of adults do. But I realized, like, I would give one person a piece of me, a side of me, an aspect of me, and then I would kind of subconsciously be doing that for everyone. And this is in a lot of ways. And I think the big one obviously is emotionally and like nurturing. So like, I work with a few close friends, like people that I see outside of work, and have worked with close friends and people that I really do care about and look forward to seeing, and I'm excited to, like tell them about things that have happened in my life. But then there are other people that I work with who I either don't have that relationship with, or I have come to realize that I'm not enjoying the dynamic of them receiving this information. And so something I did to remedy this was I listed up, this is going to be sad for people who work with me, I think, but and it's like, obviously my close friends know that they're my close friends, but I listed out everybody that I work with, and I decided, like, are they a safe person? Are they somebody that I can let my guard down around? And I'd say like 90% of the people I work with, yes, I can. I love most of the people I work with, and it's the thing that is keeping me at my job. But there is that other 10% of people where I have either deemed them to, I guess, like, misuse the vulnerability that I'm offering, or there's like a facade that I was choosing to ignore because I felt like, well, everybody deserves this version of me. And I even got a little deeper and was like, well, even the people that I do feel like deserve this piece of me, like, maybe not everybody deserves like the same exact version of me. And it wasn't even that I was putting on the same mask for everybody, and I don't even know if I want to call it a mask, because like, there's people that I work with who I like genuinely look forward to seeing, and would be sad if they were not in my routine, my weekly, my daily routine. But yeah, I'm just tired of Oh my god, that plane is super low and loud. Sorry about that. Sometimes the planes here are like normal and I can like kind of hear them, and sometimes they're a little too close for comfort. But there's also a hospital like right down the road from me, and they like have the helicopters that like fly people in, like emergency fly people in, and sometimes that one gets a little scary low. But anyways, so I basically have just really been looking into my relationships, and not even just with work, like with family and with my boyfriend and versus like my daughter, and like the point is like not everybody deserves a piece of the pie all the time, basically. What else did I write down? It's been like hard to articulate too. Like I brought this up to my mom, and she was like, I wonder when you started doing that. And I was like, well, let me back up. I have, at some point I decided like giving my vulnerability away, giving like these parts of me, these traits and moments in my life and details about myself were something to be like traded. And she was like, I wonder when you started doing that. And I don't really know, honestly. I don't know when this started. I think it was probably amplified at certain parts in my adult life. Like, I think when I first got this job, the reward was friendship. It was like, okay, well, I'm being vulnerable with these people, and I'm giving them these sides of me that I normally wouldn't give to like coworkers or even to just like other people. Like, I was in college at the time and I was having a really hard time making friends, and I don't know, something about being vulnerable and getting vulnerability back was how I felt like the friendship was built, how we like were building these good dynamics. I hope this is making sense. I feel like when I take a break from recording, my train of thought is like dun 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 instead of just like a streamline thing. But yeah, that's why I have the notes to help me out. But yeah, so I felt like that was the trade-off. It was like, okay, and it's not always a bad thing to be vulnerable. That's not what I'm saying, or like to let your guard down. Like, I made a lot of good friends, and I learned how to make friends, I feel like. And so I think the immediate reward was really good. And then I started to see like a shakiness in those foundations and those friendships, and that's fine. Like, not everybody's meant to be in your life forever, but I realized that these like I don't even know what the word is. The word secretive's coming to mind, but that's not really what I want to say. It's like these sensitive, or what is the word? Not special, just like, I don't know, things that I might only tell a close friend. I was telling to like acquaintances, to customers. You know, it's like giving a piece of knowledge away in exchange for friendliness, in exchange for like human decency, in exchange for respect. And I would say the past like couple months that started to feel really yucky. Like, I have to give away like personal information to feel like I'm being respected, or to like get respect, or to like be seen as a human being. And unfortunately, that's part of my job to an extent. And shouldn't even say unfortunately, because I do have some really awesome customers that come in. And I even told somebody about this podcast, which isn't like, I don't know. Obviously, every person who comes through my store is different. I have like some older lady regulars that come in, and I do feel really connected with them, and they notice when I'm gone, and they are genuinely interested in what's going on in my life, and we sit and we talk. And you know, then I have like some regulars that it's like more of a flirty thing with, and then I have regulars where it's like girls my age, where we sit and we gab. And it's like, I just was trying to be everything for everyone, and that's just not possible. I just came to the realization where it's like, it's okay to just be one thing for one person, one snippet, one version of myself for one person. And that's to say also, like, I don't have to be anything for certain people as well. I don't know, it's just like as new people come in and stuff, it's hard to, I don't know, I guess I just needed to like trust my gut on things and be like, okay, my immediate gut reaction was that like I don't feel safe with this person, I don't like this person. And like that sounds really harsh because I'm a friendly person and I really like to have friends and I like to have a community around me. And so it is hard to be like I have to draw a line with certain people. And I think the reason I also hesitate to do that is because I think, or I was feeling that if I was giving away parts of myself, I was granted like safety in the workplace. I was granted protection in the workplace because I don't have the best relationship with management and corporate and blah, blah, blah. So I think for me, it was like, okay, well, if I give this person a piece of me, then they'll want to protect it. And I still don't completely know what I mean or how I'm feeling about this. Like I've been journaling about it a lot and I'm kind of just like been going in circles about it where I'm like, okay, if I, am I like silly, authentic self and I'm sharing all these details about my life, like this person will feel close to me and they'll want to protect that. Because maybe it's that I feel that way about other people. Like when people open up to me and they're authentic with me and I get to see a certain side of them, I'm like, okay, we're bonded now, And for some people that takes a long time for them to get to that point, and it's not that I don't like want to respect that person. It's just like we're just not on that level.
I was trying to give away all these like little tokens of myself all the time to all these different people, just so if something bad did happen to me, I would like have people in my corner. And I think those things just happen naturally, and forcing it is kind of manipulative, and I think that's why it's starting to feel really yucky for me, where it's like, okay, what does this person want from me? I'll give it to them, so then I'll have somebody else in my corner. And yeah, it just wasn't feeling good anymore. And I don't know if it ever really felt good, but something else, and on the same topic, when I was pregnant, people were not nice to me. And then I was just like, okay, I guess I just don't got it anymore. I just don't have the charm, I just don't have the charisma, like, people just don't really like me. And I was a lot grumpier when I was pregnant, and I was in pain when I was working, and so it was like, okay, maybe I really just am unpleasant to be around. But then when I wasn't pregnant and I was starting to get my groove back and I was starting to get my glow back and I looked more like myself again, people started being really nice to me. And I recognized like, oh, when I look prettier, when I am feeling healthier, people are nicer to me. And so I definitely was using like looks and like the way I move and the way I talk to my advantage a little bit. And I still do, because that's just like part of the job as like a customer service person. But yeah, it was just, I think that's kind of what really jump started it and like, what's the word, like accelerated this for me recently. Is this too vulnerable? I don't know. I just felt like this was really important. Like this was a big reckoning moment for me, and I was like crying over this and getting really upset and down about this, that this is how I've been acting for the past, many years at this point. I don't, my daughter's 3 too. Like if this started when, or got really important, like an important tactic for me, when I was, right after I was pregnant. It's been almost 2 years. So yeah, I don't know, just like been feeling really emotional about that recently. And I guess my whole point is to say like, not everybody needs a cupcake. Like you can be really silly and not offer that to everybody. Like some people don't deserve that. Some people don't deserve to laugh with you, which I know sounds fucked up, but that is how I feel. Like some people, or maybe some people need to work harder for that. Like you don't need to, I think I'm gonna start that over. I guess my point is to say that you don't need to be every version of yourself. Like I was just tired of being a revolving door for every person that I came in contact with, where it was like, what do you need from me today? Like I just can't do that anymore. Like what I feel like I'm doing now is like, okay, what's my connection with this person? What do I want this connection to look like? That is how I will present myself. And a big one that I wasn't doing before was, do I feel safe with this person? And I think that stems back a little bit deeper into my teenage years. And I don't know how deep I want to get into that here, but I do think, like, part of me is like, well, it doesn't matter if you feel safe with this person. What matters is like how threatening is this person? Like, how much of a immediate threat is this person? Because like I don't have a good relationship with my manager, but she's not a threat. I could deal with her any day of the week. I don't like to deal with her any day of the week, but I do because I know she's not a threat. Whereas somebody else might feel really yucky energy, and I do perceive them as somebody who is really willing to like tear me down or hurt me or wish ill upon me or take that vulnerability and like use it against me. And so I think I just need to listen to that more. And I think most women probably do need to listen to that more and not swallow that feeling. Yeah, sorry guys, I got kind of heavy. Do I have any other fun notes on this?
Oh, and like also with this, this was taking a lot of energy, just being like this revolving door of versions of myself for people. And like I've also noticed that certain dynamics in my life have been strengthened because I am being more authentic. Like because I'm not trying to be like this all dimensional person, that some things have been strengthened and some things have quieted down. And honestly, I'm feeling better. But at the same time, since I'm listening to that like unsafe, like wee you feeling more, some days it does feel hard, especially when there's not somebody at work where I feel like can be more of a safe space. And that can kind of segue us into the next topic because I'm sure you've noticed I'm talking a lot about work. Work and career has been like super heavy on my mind the past few weeks, and I'm no non-complainer about my job. I actually famously despise my job, but I've done a lot of thinking about that. And there was a day, I don't remember if it was this week or the week before. I think it was this week because I have time off this week. I took some time off and trying to cure a little bit of burnout at work, but I think on Monday I was like, I can't do this anymore. I was like, I don't think this job is for me anymore. It was just like too much. It was a really bad day. I didn't really have anybody to like rely on or like fall back on, and that's not to say there was nobody there. It was just like maybe I think like the one person that I felt comfortable with that day, she's technically my boss. Like there's levels. There's like me, a barista, and then there's like a shift supervisor, and then there's like upper management. So it's kind of like us down, like baristas and shifts down here, and then upper management. So it feels a little bit more balanced, but like she still has like responsibilities, and so I can't just be like, oh, I hate my job to my technically boss. So anyways, getting off topic. Yeah, so it was really bad, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like I was like listing jobs on my break, being like, what else can I do? And I think that is a big problem for me right now, is like, okay, if not this, then what else? Because right now, I really, for the most part, I think I said it, like 90% of the people I work with, I really love, and I feel really attached to pretty much everyone I work with. There's only like 3 people that I like definitely don't feel attached to and don't want anything to do with. And then there's like the other handful of people that I just don't know. Like we don't cross paths and I don't know them. And then everybody else I love, and I love seeing them, and I'm glad that I get to interact with them and that they're in my life. And like not everybody's like my bestest friend, obviously, but they make my job doable. They make my job worth it. And I worry a lot where it's like, okay, if I go to another job and I don't like it and I don't like the people, then what do I do next? Because I have worked jobs where I don't have any friends and it's really hard environment to really hard dynamic to work myself into. And it's just also, that sounds equally as exhausting as what I'm doing now. Like I remember when I worked at Jose Peppers when I was in high school, it was like just instant drama, and I never created any bonds with anybody, and nobody talked to me, and people were just kind of nasty, and I just don't have time for that anymore. I don't have the capacity for it anymore, and I'm in a space right now where that's just less of a problem. Yeah, it makes me sad that those people wouldn't be a part of my week, is what I'm getting to. And so that makes leaving the job really hard, because I do have a really awesome support system at work, and I do have people who are in my corner, even though I have some issues with management. But and at the end of the day, I actually do like my job. I like the tasks that I'm doing, and I'm really good at it. And so it's hard to picture myself doing something different right now. There's a lot of pros and there's a lot of cons, and I yeah I like what I'm doing. The problem with what I'm doing is there is a constantly moving goalpost. Like, I am constantly being told that by management it's not good enough, do more. And like, very recently my manager has been telling me good job, and it's like freaking me out because that doesn't happen. She doesn't do that, and so it's like, okay, what's the catch? So yeah, it's like, okay, I'll do good today, but if tomorrow I'm not living up to what I did yesterday, then I will be told like it's not good enough. And I'm sick of it. And it's like, I decided weeks and weeks ago, I'm going to move at the pace that I want to move at. And if it's not good enough for them, they can move me. Somebody else can fill in, because I work really early hours. I already am like, my 50% is like a lot of people's 100%. And so it's like, if I need to scale it back for a little bit, then it's fine. It does, like, it's not making that big of a difference. And I don't know. It's just irritating to like be constantly told that you're not doing good enough when you are always raising the bar. Like, I'm always getting faster. I'm always getting better at communicating with people. I deal with all the changes of standards, and like, I adapt really well. And so it's like, and so do a lot of my coworkers. Like, I would say our core morning team is crazy good. And so it's like, what else is there to do? What else is there to get better at? And then when it's like you're being constantly told that you're not doing good enough, it's like, why even try to get better at it? If nothing's ever going to be good enough, why not just keep doing what we're doing? And I'm just not willing. Like, I will move at a normal pace. Like, there was a day where I was just moving at a normal pace, like what I would consider like a non-exhausting pace, and I still did really good. And it was the day that my manager told me I was doing good. It's like when you see people going 90 miles an hour on the highway when you're going 65, and then you like get off the highway 5 minutes later and they're at the same red light. It's like, going at lightning speed doesn't get me anywhere any faster. It doesn't do anything. So it's like, why wouldn't I just go to normal pace? Why would I exhaust myself? But yeah, I do like the tasks that I'm doing for the most part. I think my job has some fun to it. Like, I like making drinks. I'm a barista. I don't know if I've said that. I think I've mentioned that I work in fast food. You've probably decoded what chain, corporation, whatever you want to call it, that I work at. I feel like weird saying it. I don't know. Like, are they gonna smite me? Are they gonna find this and fire me? I don't know. But yeah, so that part of my job is hard. And then, like I said, management and I do not get along, and I never have been, never will be a bootlicker. I just don't take that. I'm not gonna like kiss ass to, like, for what? It doesn't get me anything. I've already decided like I'm not moving up in the company at all. So I'm just there to get my paycheck, and like, I'm just not willing to like be fake and kiss up to somebody that doesn't respect me. And that's that. Moving on to the next point. Okay, I kind of mentioned this already. I don't know what I would replace this job with, and this is something that I've been trying to figure out for pretty much since I was pregnant. And I was like, okay, I need to get a new job. I don't know what else it would be, because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go back to school for this. I'm gonna go back to school for that. And the reality of it is, I don't want to go back to school. I personally don't see the point in like putting myself in a ton of debt, and I might change my mindset down the road if I feel like there's something that I do really want to invest my time into. But it's just like I don't 100% hate my job, and so it's like, what would I even replace it with? Like, I just go work another part-time job? I don't know. It's tricky. And I was listening to the Not For Everyone podcast that Caroline Winkler does, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of the other lady that does it with her. Jess, I think is her name, but I don't know her last name. Anyways, I was listening to an episode they did about how career has kind of become like an identity thing, where it's like, okay, what do you love to do? What are you passionate about? That should be your job. And they kind of made me realize like maybe that's not the case, because I'm constantly searching for like what's the thing that lights a fire up under me. And the reality of it is that lots of things do that for me. I have a lot of hobbies. I get excited to learn about things, and it's like there's just no there's the job doesn't exist. The job doesn't exist for like an astrologist lady who bakes and plays cozy games. Like that's not, that's not a job. I'm passionate about all those things. I love all those things. I dedicate time to all those things in my free time, but that job doesn't exist. And it's like, yeah, I like being a barista. I'm like semi passionate about coffee and the coffee industry, I suppose, but it's not the thing that like gets me out of bed in the morning, you know? And I don't know. I think about my parents a lot when I think about career, because both my parents went back to school in their 40s and like made and kind of jump started changes for them differently, but like jump started changes for them. And so it's like I'm putting all this pressure on myself at 24 to be like, okay, what are you going to do for the rest of your life? And I think the reality of it is like I just might have more than one career throughout my life, and that's fine. Or maybe I will work this part-time job for many, many years to come. And like I'm only gonna keep getting raises, you know? Like it's not like I'm still making minimum wage at this job. Uh yeah. So I don't know. I still haven't really cracked the code on that, because I don't necessarily want to be doing this for the rest of my life, because there are cons that I have already established. But in the meantime, this job is very flexible. Like if my daughter's sick, I can just call out. If I'm sick, I can just call out. If I need to change my schedule up a little bit, easy, I can do that. But there's also the pros of, you know, waking up at 3:30 in the morning. That's really hard on me. Like I did it 4 days in a row this past week, and I was a train wreck. Like I think the night before the my last day, so like Wednesday night, I was having like a full on breakdown, having like I was paranoid, like it was bad. Like the sleep aspect of this job is not great for my anxiety. But the pro of waking up and working super early is that I get to be home for lunchtime. You know, I get to my daughter's only awake for like I don't know, she only wakes up at 8. I'm usually home by noon, so that's only like 4 hours of the day that she has to be without me. And for me, that feels really important. And you know, I was talking to a coworker slash friend about this, and I was like, yes, I get to see more of her during the day, but I'm not totally sure that I'm always as present as I could be, because I'm like, okay, I could go work a 9 to 5, but then I'm not really home at all with her. And that really scares me, because I want to be around for things, and I don't know, maybe it wouldn't be that bad, but I don't know. I remember seeing like TikToks and stuff when I was postpartum of like, okay, taking my 6 week old to daycare. And it's like, do what you gotta do, but man, that would destroy me. I don't think I could do that. But at this job, I get 18 weeks maternity leave. Some of that paid. Granted, I meet the secret qualifications that they did not tell me about. But that's a story for another day. Yeah. So there's lots of pros. There's lots of cons, and I think it would be that way with any job. Like, let's say I did go work a different job and get a degree or whatever, and maybe I would be making more money. Maybe I would have a little bit more mental clarity. Maybe I would be getting better sleep, but I might not be seeing my daughters more. I might be working more hours. There might be a different type of exhaustion that comes with that. I might not like my coworkers. I might have a hard time finding a job. It's just like a lot. I don't know. I have a lot of big feelings around finding a new job. And something that me and my coworkers have talked about is like the job is flexible. Like if I did want to go back to school, I could do it with this job. If I or when I get pregnant again, like, yeah, it's gonna suck working the job pregnant because I've done it. It does suck, but I will have the flexibility to only come back for 12 hours a week or whatever. Or my boyfriend's currently searching for a new job. When he gets that job, I should be able to make my schedule compatible with his very easily. So I don't know. It kind of feels like while my daughter's young and while future kids are young, this doesn't feel like the worst option. And I think I have to try to find fulfillment outside of this job because at one point I did want to move up in this job, and it didn't happen for, again, another story for another time. But it was really beating me down and being like, why am I not good enough? Is this going to be a problem at every job? Like, how am I going to find fulfillment in my career here? And I think I'm just not. I think the job is just where I go to make money and hang out with some people that I like. And yeah, I don't know. And if that means I'm just kind of a worse worker because of it, and I'm not like this hungry for drive times person, then that's just gonna be how it was. Because like, I used to play the game when I first started at this job. I was all in. Things were very different when I first started at this job, though, and I had a different manager and all sorts of things. But yeah, I'm just not about it anymore. Just not about the life. Like, I just want to go and make drinks and talk to the regulars that I like to talk to and make myself a silly drink and just be done for the day. I'm just like, I feel like the more I work at this job, the less I care about it, but kind of in a good way. It's just like, it's just a job. And I think there comes a point where a job no longer serves a purpose. But I think this job does still serve a purpose for me. And then I feel really lame because, I'm constantly like, I can't be here anymore. Like, I'm always like, God help me if I'm still here in August. Lord help me if I'm still here by Christmas. But like, I don't know. It just is what it is. And like this past year, I didn't work Thanksgiving and Christmas because I don't have to, so I didn't. And management kind of made a big stink about that. And they were like, don't you want to be here for your team? Like, what if we need you on Christmas Eve? Don't you want to be here for your team? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine, as long as it's in my availability. Like, I don't know, I'll work Christmas Eve morning, I'll work Easter, like, whatever. I'm not working Easter. But it's like, this is just a job for me. I just don't care. I do not give a shit about like the goals within the company because it's a giant corporation. They don't care about me. I don't care about them. We're all here to get our coin, and that's that. That's just how I feel about it. Like, nothing's gonna change. Like, they're not gonna respect me more. And like, obviously there's a line. Like, I can only take so much, but right now, like, I feel like the detachment I've reached with this lessens the disrespect. Like, on Monday, when I was being told what I wasn't doing wasn't good enough, I wasn't going fast enough, and they like moved me off the position I was on. At first, I was like, oh my God, I might choke somebody. Like, that was crazy. But now when I'm looking back on it, I'm like, fine, move me to something easier. Give me like the new person position. Like, I'll do the easy thing. I'll just check out. And guess what? I still make the same amount of money, whether I do that or not. So, yeah, just feeling, I don't know, just feeling some sort of way about it. And like, luckily, I do have the luxury to just kind of check out. Like, I'm not in charge. It doesn't matter if I'm locked in or not. Like, and like when I go to other stores and like I help at other stores, I always try my best because I'm there to help. But personally, at my store, I just am starting to lose. Actually, I've lost it. I just don't care anymore. And like I still do a good job, and I'm still there for my team. But like I don't know. And like on my last day, I did something that I don't normally do. And I had a blast, and I crushed it, and it was a lot of fun. So I don't know. I think maybe I'm feeling bored with my job as well. Like I do kind of feel like I need some change, some variety, I suppose. But I don't know. I'm just kind of going with the flow, seeing where life takes me. Like I think ideally this would be my job, content creation and like um, even like writing and like doing my Substack and stuff. But I'm just not there yet, like skill wise. Like I have a lot to learn and um, some creative vision to cultivate, and so I'm just not there yet, and that's okay. But again, the job I have now gives me the flexibility to do this. And like, if I did only want to work 4 days a week, I could probably make that happen. Or if I wanted to lessen my hours, blah blah blah. Not right now. I need all the money I can get at the moment. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to be less existential about it. And like, I don't have to have everything figured out right now. And the fact of the matter is, nobody has to have any of it figured out. Like, you can switch jobs at any time. Okay, I'll stop rambling about that. I hope the thing that I talked about at the beginning made a lick of sense. I've still been having a hard time like processing and understanding what I was doing and like feeling, but I think the bottom line of it was it like felt manipulative, and that's just not what I want to be. It's not how I want to present, and yeah, I want to be more authentic, not only with myself but with others. And with the work thing, I don't know. I've been trying to figure it out for like years, honestly, it feels like. But I think what I'm going to try to do is just let go of, I guess, like the control of it all. Like, just kind of go with the flow. I saw a thing and it was like, let me be like water or whatever. I don't know. Some hippy dippy bullshit. But I do feel like that sometimes, where it's like, just let yourself just exist and flow with it. So yeah, I'm excited for the things that I've planned. I'm excited to get back into the groove of the podcast. Hopefully I edit this and thumbnail it and get it up on time for Tuesday. And I really appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.